It was love at first sight. I met Marcy over 10 years ago at Canyon Ranch. It was Marcy's trip, and I was very fortunate to be the guest of one of Marcy's friends. As an uber experienced spa goer, Marcy knew all the ins and outs of Canyon Ranch. She was super organized and made sure we got the most out of our spa experience, from classes, meals, and services. Canyon Ranch was a life-changing experience. I left there relaxed, inspired, and with a new best friend. Happy birthday, Marcy. I love you.
As some of you may know, Marcy and her daughter and me and my daughter go away every year to a spa for quite a few years for a relaxing weekend. And the very first weekend we did it, we went to Canyon Ranch, and we had a wonderfully healthy day or two of clean eating, clean living, no alcohol. And after working out, one day Marcy mentioned to me that there was a lecture we should go to. We had gone to a few lectures, and the lecture was about, as she told me, the lecture was about, if you're drinking too much for stress reasons, or, you'd like to maybe, deal with maybe your alcohol relationship in your life, et cetera, et cetera. I said no 3 times, but again, as my Marcy story will include all of you, she's very persuasive. So we walked into the room, after a class, and we're talking and chatting as we usually are, going into the lecture. And instead of this big lecture room, which we usually sit in, it's a very small conference table. And at the conference table, there's 2 people, and we sit down and still don't really know what's going on. And then 2 more people come in, and it was kind of quiet. And I'm kind of looking at her and looking around and not sure what's going to happen. And lo and behold, the meeting starts. And I say meeting because it was not a lecture. In fact, the meeting started with the Alcoholics Anonymous prayer of God grant me serenity, the things I cannot change, of which I horrifyingly, if that's a word, look at Marcy like, what did you just do? It was definitely one of those, she was Lucy, I was Ethel moments. Like, what did you just get me into situations? I looked to the door, immediately, like, this is not what I thought it was. Looked to the door to the right, and as we do, this sweet, sweet woman who lived, younger woman who lived in the area, started telling her story. And it was, of course, heartwarming and touching. And of course, immediately Marcy leaned in to hear more. And I kicked her under the table like, we are definitely leaving. And she looked at me like, there's no way we're leaving. Of course we stayed. And of course, when it got to our chance, to go around the table, of course, we say what probably everybody who attends an Alcoholics Anonymous meeting says for the first time, like, well, I'm not alcoholic, but, so it made for, I'll tell you, I wanted to kill her for a few moments in time, but it made for a really good story. I think to this day when we talk about it, we cry laughing, and I refer to it as the time that Marcy, accidentally, took me to an Alcoholics Anonymous meeting. So, never a dull moment, always an adventure.
I haven't known Marcy as long as most of you, so I don't have a lot of Marcy moments to share. The obvious one is when she lost her 2-carat diamond earring at my house. I mean, really, I don't know anyone who owns a real 2-carat diamond earring, but never mind. My husband likes the story. She told him within 3 minutes of meeting him for the first time about the meaning of placing a key in a bowl between her and Michael, but I can't tell that story to Abby. So I'm just going to talk about the voice message she has on her cell phone that you all have heard, which is, "Hi, it's Marcy, leave me a fun message." The first time I heard that, I hung up the phone in a panic because I didn't have a fun message to leave her. So anyway, Marcy, I do have a fun message for you today. I think that Michael has just earned some Hoffman Institute points because he set up this fabulous lunch for you with a few of your closest friends. You got more than I have. And it's just so special for us to be here with you. We are so happy for you. We're so happy to feel your love, and we love you. Happy birthday.
Hi, Marcy. I know I'm one of your newer friends, and I am so happy that we've gotten close very quickly. That's because of your commitment to friendship and connection. You are great at following up and making lunch dates and calling and following up on what's going on in my life, and I really appreciate that. You're a great teacher and a great learner. I am honored that you think of me as a spiritual guide on your life's path because you have guided me in so many ways. After each of our lunches together, I'm always amazed at your energy and your passion for so many things, whether it be podcasts, restaurants, movies, TV shows, or books. You always follow up by sending me an email with a summary of everything we've talked about. Your enthusiasm and your excitement is so apparent. I'm always learning something new from you. I'm grateful to be your friend. With appreciation and love, Joan.
Hi everyone, my name is Laura Toner. Marcy and I met through our beloved daughters, Abby and Liz. They became fast friends in kindergarten and continue their special friendship today. In the early days, Marcy and I didn't have time to engage in long walks and talks. As life has become simpler, we have always managed to check in with each other, and it usually involves exercise and enjoying the beauty of the Cape. I have always admired Marcy's enthusiasm and positivity, and one of my best Marcy moments was when we took a long walk in my town of Cotuit on Cape Cod. I was telling her, actually lamenting to her, about how my mom, who was newly in assisted living, was not participating in any of the activities. And Marcy quickly said, "Oh my God, I'm going to love assisted living. Just think of all the fun things to do, like arts and crafts, field trips, cooking classes, and the best thing about it is that they will do all the planning and I'll just have to show up." I seriously loved this moment, and it was so much like Marcy to find the fun even in assisted living. Thank you, dear friend, for always seeing the glass half full and finding joy in every situation. Because we are usually on the go, I don't have a photo of the two of us, but I do have this photo of the two girls that brought us together. Happy birthday, Marcy. You're the best. Love, Laura.
This is a Lucy and Ethel. Marcy and I got all dressed up and drove to JP to see and hear Maria Waldwell sing and act in a play. When we left JP, Marcy backed out of a parking space right onto a paint can. The blue paint was all over her car. Every red light, we stopped, ran out, and tried to use our gloves to wipe off the paint. Needless to say, our gloves were ruined, and every time we jumped out of the car, all we did was laugh. Then we stopped at gas stations and tried to use the windshield wiper blade that they have so you can clean it yourself, and that didn't work either. We kept driving and we kept laughing. Needless to say, the next day all of the paint was removed, but the laughter continued.
My favorite Marcy moment is actually every single moment that I ever talk to Marcy, because Marcy is the most fun, upbeat, caring, amazing friend. I mean, literally every time I talk to her, she's got a brilliant idea, somebody I have to meet, somewhere I have to go, or some article to read, or something I haven't even thought about yet. I did not even know it was possible that I was missing out on so much in my life before Marcy. So anyway, Marcy, you are amazing. Love you. Bye.
This is Mary, and Marcy and I have been friends for 36 years. We started working together at the legendary WBCN. She was in sales, of course, and I was in promotion. We were having so much fun. We were going out every night, concerts, nightclubs, parties, and we were hanging out with a lot of interesting people. And one in particular that I was hanging out with, Marcy was kind of interested in. He was a DJ at a roller skating club called Spinoff, and his name is Michael Cohen. I introduced Marcy and Michael, and the rest is history. These many decades later, we're so happy that you've had such a wonderful, loving life together, and I was glad I was there from the beginning. Happy 60th, and I look forward to spending at least another 40 with you, my friend.
Marcy, Marcy, Marcy. It's Dina, and I just want to say I'm so grateful for our friendship. What I love about you is how fun you are, and you always like to have a good time. I know I can count on you if I want to go to a concert, or if I want to see a movie, or go to a museum, or do anything around the city. You are my go-to girl because I know you will always say yes, and I love that about you. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful birthday, celebrating your 29th, and that you have many more to come. I love you.
My favorite Marcy moment comes from the first time that I met her when she was in New York City visiting. Jake had told Marcy, "Come out with my friends. You'll meet all my friends." Meanwhile, she doesn't know that him and I are dating. Through the night, Marcy and I are drinking wine together and having fun together, and she finally realizes that I'm not just her friend, her son's friend. I'm dating this guy. So I tell her that I like him, and it's only been a month, and which is why I think it's super strange that we're even meeting. And she gives me some advice, saying, "I really like you, and here's what you need to know about my son. He loses interest very fast, and I want you to stick around. And he's never dated anyone for more than 2 months." The next week, Jake and I are having breakfast together, and he introduces me to somebody as his girlfriend. We'd never had any conversation about me being his girlfriend. So after the person leaves, I call him out and I'm like, "Hey, did you just introduce me as your girlfriend?" He says, "Isn't that what you are?" And I said, "You never asked me to be your girlfriend." And I have Marcy's voice echoing in my head, if you want him to stick around, you gotta play hard to get. So I said to him, "If you feel the same way as you do today, in 2 more months, ask me again, and I'll say yes." Therein is how Jake's longest relationship ever started. Thank you, Marcy. I love you.
So, my friend, I wanted to share with you one of my favorites. I know that you're thinking I'm going to talk about when the transistor was hidden underneath my seat and I thought that there were aliens in the car. But no, I'm not going to tell you that one. I'm going to share with you why I no longer ski. It's your fault. I am the slowest skier of everybody, and I was just so tired of everybody having to wait for me to come down. So I decided to stop complaining and just suck it up and go. And I agreed to go up to a Black Diamond. Went up the Black Diamond, and I was freaking out as we're going up. And lo and behold, in front of us, it's moguls. I've never been on a mogul in my life. After you talked me off the ledge, you came up with the chant, "The moguls are your friends." We made it down the mountain. I don't know how, but you just kept saying to me, "The moguls are your friends. The moguls are your friends." I'd go up and down chanting that. Well, we got down. You were so happy. I was so proud of myself, but in shock. And we did it. And through life, believe it or not, "The moguls are your friends" gets me through stuff. And I do chant it. I just want to thank you for being my friend and helping me get through a lot, which we've gotten through together. And I cherish your friendship. And I love you. Love you. Happy birthday.
Hey, Marcy. Happy birthday. Happy 60th birthday from your oldest friend, Beth. We've known each other since we were 19. We've had 42 years of laughs that it's impossible for me to pick out that one moment that really stands in my mind. Okay, I thought about it. The one moment that stands out in my mind is when you and I were skiing in Jackson Hole. And of course you never waited for me when we were skiing ever, because you ski much faster than I do. And I fell at the very last run of my day. And I broke my back, my T12. Made my way to the infirmary alone. But when I passed you, you were in the lift line for about 45 minutes yelling at me because I took so long. Needless to know that I had broken my back, which you took extremely good care of me, but you were highly annoyed. Not like what happened to you, are you okay, but kind of where the hell are you kind of thing. So, I don't know. I wish I could laugh on command, but I only have 45 seconds, and this is probably the 90th time I've done it because all the other takes were too dark. So I just had to run around and put on my makeup so I could look beautiful for you. And I just want to say that we've had an amazing life together. My world is a much happier place because you're in it, and I will cherish our friendship forever. I can't, every time I look at pictures of our families or I see quotes or whatever, it just makes me cry. It's kind of cries of joy and kind of cries of missing what we used to have together as families. But anyway, I am glad that we've stayed as connected as we are, and I expect to be going to see lectures with you when you're 90, and I'm 89. Bye. Have a great day today. Enjoy. It's all yours.
So there's a few themes in our relationship. There's skiing, being on the water together, living in our dorm in Boston, and always lots of cocktails. But there seems to be one constant: lost stuff. Lost dogs, lost tags, lost keys, lost clothes, lost husbands, lost tickets, most of all, lost minds. Our total panic ultimately ends up with total hysterical laughing. Always an adventure, my friend, always an adventure.
Mars, we've had so many magical moments together. Let me highlight a couple. Do you remember going to Grateful Dead concerts together? Of course you do, and we have so many outstanding memories, but here's one. Albany, New York, June 1995. We drove to Albany. We checked into the Desmond Hotel. We were a bit early, so we sat in the lobby and we watched as the boys were leaving for the show. Everybody was leaving except for Jerry. Where was he? You and I sat waiting for him, and eventually out walks Jerry. He looks right at us. You and I simultaneously waved at him, and he looked back right at us, smiling and going along his way. We were so excited, we said hello to him. After the show, we sat in the bar hanging out with Fish. Boy, these were our moments of glory. Another Marcy moment that's meaningful is more than just one moment. It was the time before I was leaving for Spain, and I had more free time than ever. Each week we would plan a different outing. We climbed Wachusett Mountain, we hiked the Great Blue Hills, we explored Portsmouth. We were always looking for an adventure. And adventures we had, and we always will have. I could list so many fun times that we've shared. The bottom line, whenever we're together, we have magic moments. How lucky I am to have you in my life. Through thick and thin, you are a loyal, caring, loving, generous, thoughtful, and committed friend. I love you dearly. Happy 60th. With lots of love, Sluey.
Mom, trying to pick one Marcy moment for me was pretty tough, mainly because every day is a Marcy moment with you. I could tell the story about how you forgot to check the weather before dragging me on the Charles River to kayak in a hurricane, or the time you left your daughter to survive a blizzard because it was a powder day, or the time you took me cross-country skiing despite my best efforts and left me in the middle of a snowfield as I tried to take a shortcut to escape the torturous activity. But today my story encompasses everything that represents our amazing mother-daughter relationship. As you all know, she's pretty good at getting the people she loves to do ridiculous things with her. Which brings me to the time I found myself locked in a room in Morocco with nothing but a towel, my mother, a lot of steam, and absolutely no explanation. We're in Morocco, and my mom discovers this spa treatment called a hammam. For those of you who don't know, a hammam is not a massage. It is a treatment where you sit in a room that slowly fills with steam until a lady who doesn't speak any English comes in, throws you on a wooden table, takes a bucket of water, cold water, pours it over your head, and scrubs you down with hard salt. That is a hammam. Mom, what I love about you is despite the many times of false advertising, you always get me to do ridiculous new things with you. There's always uncontrollable laughter and always an adventure. You've brought such a sense of adventure into my life and to live with such love, passion, and adventure. Happy birthday to the most amazing mentor, mother, and best friend. I truly couldn't ask for anyone more special to be such an enormous influence on my life. And I hope you have the most magical birthday. Happy birthday. I love you.
All you need is love, love. Love is all you need. Love is all you need. Love is all you need.